Today's adventure takes us down the Wakulla River to St. Mark's. Then we'll go up the St. Mark's River up to Highway 98. So Wakulla Springs is up past this bridge and past that fence up there. So you can't get to Wakulla Springs, which I believe is a magnitude 1 spring, which is one of the biggest. This is mid-October, so we've had Hurricane Helene come through a few weeks back. Got a lot of rain, so the river's pretty high right now. And it's pretty swift, so we're probably going to make some good progress heading down to St. Mark's. And it's shallow here. I see the grass right below me. But mid-October 2024, and it's about 60 degrees this morning, and we're just going to coast down the river and see what we see. Well, there is a lot of eelgrass, so I picked up my pedals, and we're going to just use the paddle and the current and the rudder for a little while and see what happens. Very quiet out except for the bridge behind me. Maybe we'll get lucky and see a manatee today.
He would, in fact, be lucky to see a manatee that day.
Really peaceful out. Just drifting along with the current. Looking at the grasses and the cypress trees, people's boat docks, a few ducks here and there. You can see from the cypress trees that not too long ago the water was about 2 feet higher than it is right now. I'm guessing that's because of all the rain that came with Hurricane Helene. The current's pretty strong. I'm just pedaling enough to stay straight, and the current's carrying me down. A few more turtles sunning themselves. So I've been out for about an hour and a half, and the current has slowed significantly. So I've picked up the pedaling. We're not too far from Highway 98. So I think I'm just going to try to stay on track, get to 98, and not get too distracted with things like fishing. It's just really quiet. I have not seen another boat. I have not seen another person since I started. So I'm just enjoying myself with the quiet, looking at some of the wildlife. Yeah. I just love wild Florida, just looking back amongst all the cypress trees, palm trees, listening to the birds. Just beautiful and peaceful. So I made it to the highway bridge. I see another boat coming my way, and then right over there it's a boat ramp and an outfitter if you want to rent a kayak or a canoe. So a better look at the boat ramp. Bit of a breeze picking up behind me, pushing me down the river a little bit. So I see a few more fishermen along the way, but nothing ahead of me. There we are, heading down river towards St. Mark's. There's a couple little manatees over here. Don't know if I can get them or not. See if they surface again. There we go. Right there. Oops. In the grass feeding. It's a little manatee. See if he'll come up one more time for us. There we go, grass right on his nose. Looks like the water came up here a little bit. Some of that debris is, 3 feet up or so. Luckily, St. Mark's did not get the worst of Hurricane Helene. That was down the coast a little bit, around Keaton Beach and Steenhatchee, and even further down around Cedar Key. There's not a lot of development from the 98 bridge down to the Shell Island Fish Camp in St. Mark's. Looks pretty much like this, and grass is right along both banks. Alright, here we're coming up on the Shell Island Fish Camp. They have boat storage, I think a boat ramp. They've got some little cottages you can rent. There's a place you could hop in and grab some snacks. Normally I don't take pictures of people's boats up close, but this is a pretty hole. I like it. Here is the Wakulla River Park in St. Mark's. I'm going to see if I can stop here and maybe have some lunch. See if I can find a place to stop along the shore or maybe up at that dock. Well, I could have pulled up to that dock right there, but there is a manatee hanging out right by the foot of those stairs. I did not want to disturb it, so I'll go a little bit further. There's actually a boat ramp down here, and I'll try to pull up there and have some lunch. So that is downstream for the Wakulla River, and this is upstream for the St. Mark's River. And that is upstream Wakulla, which is where I came from. We're going to cruise up St. Mark's River now. Okay, so here we are at the boat ramp at St. Mark's. So I think this looks like a good spot to stop, have a sandwich, then I'll get back on the river, start heading up north to 98. Alright, we're at the St. Mark's boat ramp. Got my sandwich right there. And got the kayak parked right there. Should be okay for now. So we'll have a bite to eat and enjoy some shade. It is starting to warm up a little bit now. So interestingly, the Florida Trail that goes from Big Cypress in South Florida all the way up near Pensacola comes through here. So there's a sign for the Florida Trail, and you actually have to catch a ride across the river in order to continue on the trail on the other side. I believe that this marina, which is Shields Marina, if you call ahead of time, they'll run a boat over here, pick you up and take you across. Otherwise, there's no way to get across for the backpackers that come through. This is Shields Marina up here. There's a restaurant, I think it's called Riverside Restaurant right there. You'll pull up a boat and have lunch if you so desire. There's actually a bike trail that comes down to St. Mark's, and so quite a few bicyclists stop in at this restaurant at the end of the trail as well. Oh, there's an old half-sunk boat back there. Another one up here. And I'm not convinced those blue tarps are really doing a lot of good at this point. That is a much better look. Looks like I made it to the wild part of the St. Mark's River. And much like the Wakulla, it's quite beautiful. The wind is coming down the center of the river right now, but if I stay on the side, sometimes I can get out of it. Otherwise, this is quite spectacular. One of them got nervous. Here's another boat dock. You can see they've got a very long dock. It goes way up there into the woods. There's even a couple of sailboats back in here, so this river must be pretty deep. I was not expecting to see these big sailboats. Well, I mentioned that I wasn't expecting to see big boats, but here we have some yachts. And these people are decorating for Halloween. I like it. There's a view from this side. They're in the Halloween spirit. You can see that the water goes back there quite a ways. The water level is still elevated from all the rains that we've had. Normally it's not quite this high. You would think that if it was always inundated, you wouldn't have those trees there. Another boat going by. These waves for a ride. Well, there's the Highway 98 bridge as it crosses the St. Marks River, and that is where I will be ending my journey today. And I can look at my phone and see that my lovely bride is a few minutes away, so she'll be here to pick me up in a few. So you can see the docks for this boat ramp are underwater, which validates my guess that the water levels are pretty high right now.